Welcome back to the Moa Wells Show. I am your host, Alex Wells, aka Moa Wells, aka Big Mo, aka Mo Lawns, Mo Money. Welcome back to the show, guys. I hope you guys are having a great day out there getting that money, stacking that bread. You know what it is. Anyways, today is the day after the Instagram live show with Max Landscaping. Shout out to Big Mac, no sauce. So just wanted to follow up on that show. This episode is going to be about what my day looks like as a business owner with 7 employees, with 2 crews, sometimes 3, depending on what we're doing, and just give you an idea of what you can look forward to and how I kind of got here. We're going to talk about my team first. So we have 7 guys, or we have 6 guys in the field. Then we have an office manager, I guess you would say, basically a secretary, I guess you would say, somebody that just takes the phone calls, and that's pretty much it. So, but they are on payroll, so they just answer the phone. And if it's a complaint or if it's a customer wanting service, our workflow is they send the email to myself and the operations manager, depending on what it is. If it's about equipment repairs that are ready or something like that, they'll send that directly to the office manager. If it's a complaint about a client, that goes directly to the operations manager. If it's for an estimate, that goes to both of us. Or if it's a kind of like a high level thing, like a big complaint or something broke or something, crazy or unusual, that would go to me as well. So that's the office person. Then we have the operations manager, which is basically the general manager. He does all the scheduling. He does making sure all the crews have everything they need in the morning. He's basically the backbone of the business as far as the operations sides go. So he gets here in the morning with at 7:15 with another the other crew leader. So he acts as the operations manager and he's the head crew leader of the commercial crew. So he gets here with the residential maintenance crew leader and then one crew member. They all get here at 7:15. They get all the trucks loaded, get all the water ready for the day, the ice. They make sure the sprayers have spray in them, make sure everything's good to go. They pull the trucks out and close down the shop. And once the crew members get here at 7:30, they come in quickly. They punch in. They fill up their individual water bottles or whatever they might need for the day, and they hop in the truck and they're off. So the operations manager makes sure that all happens. And our goal is to be out of here by 7:40 every morning. Most of the time they get out between 7:35 and 7:40. If we're here past 7:40, then something's wrong. And basically, if a guy's going to be late, man, they just leave him and say, it don't even matter. We do not accept tardiness here. We will leave you, and if it happens multiple times, you're out of here. We'll bring somebody else in. So here recently, Monday and Tuesday, we've had a guy call in both days saying that he's sick, which, who knows? He's not. I know he's not going to go to the doctor, so he's not going to have a doctor's note. So I don't know if he's really sick, but this seems like an ongoing thing with him, and we've been very, very lenient with him. But at this point, it's just getting ridiculous. So we've already been interviewing guys to bring another guy in. So it looks like we're going to be replacing a guy and then maybe possibly bringing in an additional guy. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. But calling in this industry is tough because you rely so much on your guys for your team, especially, the commercial crew. They have a 4-man crew and one guy calls in, that then turns into a 3-man crew, and then the residential crew's having to help them. But how we have everything set up is Fridays, we don't have any mowing because it's a makeup day. Actually, I take that back. We have like 7 to 10 residential properties that if they don't get finished on Thursday, then we finish those on Friday, but the commercial crew doesn't have anything. So it helps if a guy calls in and we get behind, we can just use Friday as a makeup day, and we use that for enhancements and stuff like that. But back to the topic. So operations manager makes sure that all that runs smoothly. So he's setting up the schedule in the morning as well. The schedule's already preset for the whole entire year for all the services. So if we get a new client that comes in and they get, the whole 9, they get everything, we go ahead and pre-schedule that out for the whole year. So if they're a Tuesday mow, that mow is scheduled for Tuesdays from here all the way to the end of October. Their leaf cleanups are scheduled, their shrub trimming, their aeration overseeding, their biweekly winter visits, whatever they might get is already scheduled. So the schedule's done. He just basically optimizes it to make sure it's in order. And if they have to move some things around, they'll move some stuff. He'll move some stuff around in the morning. And then at the end of the day, he goes back through the schedule, make sure everything got closed out properly, make sure, sometimes like the app will say it's closed, but then you get on the CRM online and it wouldn't have closed out because of an error, of the field worker or the crew leader or whatever. So he makes sure everything's closed out properly at the end of the day and moves things around that need to be moved. If we didn't finish something, if something got skipped, he's figuring out why, stuff like that. And he's also checking emails, making sure all his stuff is taken care of. So that's pretty much what the operations manager does. And he also helps with estimates. If there's like an estimate that's right next door to somebody that we're already servicing that day or on his route, he'll knock it out. He'll knock the estimate out or, do one after work or whatever. He does a little bit of everything. So his eventual position is going to be once he's out of the field, which will be probably another couple years, but he'll be doing the lead sales. And then somebody else will move into the operations manager position. So he'll kind of be hybrid at that point. He'll be a little bit of operations manager, but he won't be in the field. And then he'll be doing full-time sales and full-time like property checks, customer service stuff, making sure all that is handled properly. And that gives me more time to work on different things with some of my other businesses. And, it just frees up more of my time. Then I can kind of just oversee everything. And eventually, we might start a second location. You never know. I don't know what the plans are, but I do have a plan, but it's not concrete yet. So we're trying to see how everything goes. We want to get this location as profitable as possible and get as many crews running out of this building as we possibly can before we end up building something ourselves or moving to a different location or starting a second location. But that's a whole nother podcast episode. We still have a long ways to go before we've maximized everything from where we're at right now. So then we have so they come in, handle all that. I take all my kids to school or daycare, summer camp, whatever it may be during the summer and during the school year. So I'm doing that in the morning. I probably if not even once a week, maybe once every other week, I might get a text or a call in the morning just asking a question from either the operations manager or the other crew leader. And that is rare. Mostly they know that they can handle everything or they just ask the operations manager. So I don't hear from them hardly ever unless something crazy happens or I'll call them. Most of the time I'm calling them to ask them questions or to see how everything's going, check in on them and all that. So I take my kids to school. I come in about 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I'm immediately doing emails, going through all my emails for the office and then for both are my business emails, but we have like an office email, which all the estimates and inquiries go from the website. And then I have my owner email, which is more so like handling like bank stuff, invoicing from our subcontractors, stuff like that. So I'm going through both those emails. I spend about 30 minutes to an hour doing that, depending on what day it is. Monday's usually a little longer, about an hour and a half. I'm just making sure everything's running smoothly. I go through the schedule, just double check everything just to make sure we're not missing anything. Or if I see something that, stands out, I just want to kind of go over it, make sure, they didn't miss anything or whatever. So I'm answering and then I'm going through voicemails. So how the voicemails work is if we get a voicemail that gets emailed over to me and then I can just listen to it there and then I can call back from my Google number. That way I don't give out my personal number. So we have the office phone, then I obviously have my personal phone, but I don't call clients back from my personal phone because that's the last thing I want is them to have my phone number. So the office person will send me voicemails or send me emails about anything that comes through on the phone. I'll call those people back, or 9 times out of 10, I'm just emailing them back. And I try to direct all my clients to reach out via email. And most of the time, it's residential clients that are older that want to call you from what I've learned from the last couple of years. So they're the ones that really call because I just want to talk to somebody. And I'm like, it's so much easier for me to email. So I'm trying to get all the clients to email me. But, we do have a couple that still do try to call. So I will call those people back. But I always tell them, like, I'll send them an email and then they'll be like, well, I need to talk to you. Then I call them and then it's nothing. It's like, this could have been an email. So I take care of all that. If there's estimates for me to do, I go do those. Depending on, if it's Monday, I'll go do all the estimates that came over through the weekend. I'll respond back to estimates we sent the week before. We have a kind of a process that we're still dialing in on the sales process. So when the estimate comes, when we send the estimate, how often we're responding to the, like, hey, we sent you this estimate. Do you have any questions? And then to the point where they either decline the estimate or it just turns completely cold, then we'll just decline it ourselves in our CRM so we can keep track of our close rate, how long it takes to close. So usually after a day, so if I send in, say I go do an estimate on Monday, send it out on Tuesday, I'm following up. Hey, do you have any questions? And normally they either approve it or they'll have a few questions for me, and or they won't respond. So then I wait. At that point, I wait like another 2 days. So Wednesday I won't say anything. Thursday I'll follow up with them again. Hey, do you have any questions? And if they don't say anything by that point, I wait till the following Monday. So I'm going through all that sales process and documenting how we're going to do all that. And then if they do close, they say, yeah, we want to approve it. Okay, cool. Get the credit card on file. And then I schedule out everything that they have for the whole entire year. So if they sign a contract June 1st, I'm scheduling out the mowing from June to the end of October. And then I'm scheduling the mowing from March to May because their contract's going to be June 1st to May 31st. So then I'm scheduling their mows for the next year. So we've got stuff that's already scheduled next year up until this point for new clients. So we just did one 2 days ago last Friday I did one. They were a new client. I got their mowing scheduled from March to June of 2025, and their shrub trimming is scheduled for next year. I think they get one between March and June because they'll get the other two this year. So that's what I'm doing as well, and that's pretty much it, man. There's not a lot that goes into it. Now, I also, like today, I ran some Google ads. I'll check in on ads that we're running. I'll go take our packets to commercial clients. I'm doing a lot more of those this year. Now, if I wanted to be a true, like, just go getter, grind hard, which I am to a point, but I'm enjoying my time that I've created, like this business that I've created to free up so much more of my time. So I'm doing other things that aren't involved in my lawn and landscape business, but I have time where I can go do door hangers. I've done that before. I'll do property checks. I did some of those last week. I just drive around to, like, say it's a Wednesday. So I'll go look at all the Tuesday properties, and I'm not getting out. I'm just doing a quick ride by, just making sure, seeing how everything looks, making sure, everything was blown properly. There's not huge limbs in the yard. If I can see weeds in the beds. And the commercial properties, I'll drive all the way around those and make sure everything looks good. So property checks are huge because then I can relay that back to the operations manager and say, hey, this property looks like shit, or y'all need to do this or whatever. This year we have done a great job on limiting callbacks. I don't think we've got more than 5 callbacks this year. And the callbacks are really stuff where it's a callback where we didn't have to go back. It's just something we need to do better in the future, or something that they wanted to add, or something like that, or like a miscommunication. So the callbacks have been amazing. So that tells me the guys are doing a really, really good job. Let's see, what else? Well, normally I'm out of here by 12:30, 1:30, depending on what I'm doing for my social media stuff. I might record a podcast, go shoot a video, but that's pretty much it. Tuesdays and Fridays at 11 to 2, I take my son. We go to the YMCA and we play pickup basketball. They have like a lunch run, so we do that now, and I do that throughout the whole year, either Tuesdays and Fridays, or if we're super busy, like spring rush, I was only going on Fridays, and Tuesdays I was just doing estimates all day. But that's it, man. That's kind of what you can look forward to if you start building the foundation early and creating those systems. You can get to where I'm at, or you can be involved more in the day to day. You set your business up how you want to set your business up. Now, could I grow this thing way faster if I came in here every single day and wanted to? Absolutely. But I'm at a season in my life where I'm enjoying this free time. I love that I'm able to take my kids to school and pick them up. I love that. Like, that's more time with them that I get than the average dad. It's usually moms that's taking the kids to school and stuff like that. So I'm very blessed to be able to do that. I've put myself in a spot to be able to do that. There was times where I was coming to work at 5 or 6 in the morning, doing the schedule every day, and then going back home and taking the kids to school. But I just delegated that to my guy, my operations manager. So the things, if there's certain things you want to do, you have to delegate those things that are keeping you from doing that. And the sooner you do it, and you're documenting all your SOPs, um, it's going to make it an easy transition. Now that you're going to have stress, there's going to be mess ups in the beginning, but you know, learn from my mistakes and others' mistakes, and make sure that you can give your guys the best ability to not mess up and to not have to call you. Because if your business can run smoothly without you being there, then you've got a true good business. And if it's obviously making money, that's even better. But that makes that business more sellable because it doesn't rely on you. Is sellable even a word? I'm not even sure. It makes that business easier to sell and more attractive because it's not reliant on you, the business owner. This thing's running like a well-oiled machine. Now, mine is not running like a well-oiled machine. It's going well. We've got to spray some WD-40 on this bad boy every now and then, but there's things that I got to get better at, and trying to think of things that I could be better at. Seeing the guys more often, having more meetings, I want to be better at that because they don't see my face that often. But I think to a point, that's a good thing, and a bad thing, is because they're not going to rely on me for nothing. Like, they know I'm going to the operations manager. If somebody requests a day off, they go to him. Like, they handle all that, man. And when you have a guy like that, you got to pay that guy. That guy's got to make good money because he's got some good, decent responsibilities. So I'm making less money because I'm not doing that. But if I wanted to make more money, I could just be the operations manager and the office manager, and then I don't have to pay either one of those people, and I'm making that. But with how everything's set up for me, this is just how I'm doing it. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. This is just how I'm doing it. And you could do the same thing with only 6, 7 guys. You don't have to have this big company to come out the field. It's all about keeping your expenses low, keeping your profit margins high, keeping your guys well paid and well trained, and having your standard operation procedures. That is the biggest thing, having your systems in place. So the lower you keep your expenses, the more money you're going to make, the more you can pay your guys, and then the more free time you can have. Or you can just make more money. It's just how you want to set it up. Nobody's business is going to be exactly the same. It never is, it never will be. But you figure out how you want your business to look, how you want it to run, what you want your day-to-day to look like, and work backwards from that. If you want 20 guys, then all right, you want 20 guys, work backwards. How does that look? How long is it going to take you to get there? 5 years? All right, work back for that 5 years. Create that plan. So I hope you guys got something out of this. If you have any questions, please shoot me an email, moatwells@gmail.com, or message me on Instagram. Shoot me a DM, Mo at Wells Show. Trying to think if there's anything else I missed, man. And if you want to be on the show, shoot me a DM. I'd love to have somebody on here. Not even for an interview. It would just be more like a discussion, man. I just want to talk to people, kind of like me and Mac did the other night. He was asking me certain questions, but I like discussions. Like, they don't have to be an interview. I'm not going to sit there and ask you, well, what kind of equipment do you run, or this, and that. If we get to that, we get to that. But let's just talk. Let's just talk business. You might have some questions for me that I can answer. It could be, and we just make a podcast out of it. I'd love to get on a Zoom or whatever with somebody, and you got a ton of questions for me. We'll just make it a podcast. It'd be great because other people are going to have those same questions. And remember, there's never a dumb question. Heck, I'm going to learn something from you. You might ask me something, and I might ask you something. Like, I learn from everybody. I don't know it all. I'm a small operation, and I'm trying to grow. I'm just growing slow because I'm enjoying my life right now with all my kids. I got 2 young ones, so I'm in no rush to make all this money. And obviously, I'm doing well on the social media side, so that definitely helps. So I don't want you to think that I'm making a ton of money just from my lawn and landscaping business, because I'm able to take time off from working definitely in the business, but even being here every single day doing all these other things, wearing all these hats because of social media. Now, if I didn't have social media, I wouldn't have an operations manager. That would still be me, but I would not be in the field. So that's kind of another rabbit hole we can go down. But guys, if you have specific questions about numbers, I'll be more than happy to share those with you. I'm just not going to share that publicly, and let you know where I'm at, where we're at in the business, and all that. So thank you so much for listening. This is your boy, Alex Wells, a.k.a. Mo at Wells, a.k.a. Big Mo, a.k.a. Mo Lawns, Mo Money. Y'all take it easy.